start lying down on your back. I'm going to stay up towards the screen so you can see me. We're going to start with just a little bit of release. If you lie down flat, if you have a rolled up towel or a pillow just to pop underneath your head, and lie with your knees bent. And we're going to start just by trying to release the diaphragm. So basically, if you try and hook your fingers in underneath your ribs, just to the side, and work along the edge of the ribs, right up into the point. And if there's any areas that are a bit tight or uncomfortable, just do a little bit of rubbing around that area and try and get that to release and relax. And then we're just going to go up the breastbone itself. So just right up the center of the breastbone, and there might be a few areas that are a bit tender. So again, just rub across, circle around, whatever you find is easiest to release them or relax them. Okay. Working up, and then just across the collarbones as well, just for completeness. Kind of over the top. And then the other side. Now just try and take a few big deep belly breaths. So relax your shoulders and breathe in. So your tummy rises up, and breathe out and let go. Now, if you pop your hands onto the bony bit at the front of the pelvis, and then your other hand onto your belly button, and somewhere in sort of halfway in between the two, if you just try and dig a little bit deeper, that's in towards your hip flexors, your iliopsoas. And you're just going to see if you can find a tender point along there. You can move up and move down. Any tender points, just massage, circle, press, rub, whatever you find loosens it off. And then come over to the other side. So you've got your belly button, you've got the bone at the front of the pelvis, and you're going to go deep in there in between the two. Just see if you can find a tender spot. So we've just worked into the hip flexors, both sides, just relaxing them off and sort of stimulating the muscle at the same time. And then if you just get in and around the hip bone at the front of the pelvis, or the pelvic bone, you should say, and again, any tender bits in and around that bone, underneath it, behind it, you'll probably feel the rim of the pelvis. You should feel the rim of the pelvis. And again, just digging your thumbs in a bit, your fingertips, and trying to stimulate the muscles. Now, if you have your spiky ball or a tennis ball to hand, I want you to pop it in underneath one glute. If you've got two of them, you can do both together. So pop in underneath one glute. You can let your knee fall out to the side, or move the pelvis, swivel around on the balls, just again to get some tender points and try and relax them off. So you're looking for tender points, trigger points. And as I say, you can either allow one knee to float out, see if that gets tender part, and even just to stay on that part, or you can then move the knee in and out, straighten the leg out, whatever way you find that you can get the onto the tender bits, and move from one side to the other. If you don't have a tennis ball, again, you can use your thumbs or your fingertips as you're lying down. Best done as you're lying down. I'm just standing so that I can see a little bit more, but obviously also you can see me. And you can use your fingertips again just to locate the tender bits and loosen them off. So once you've done that, I want you to cross one leg over the other, and we'll just go into a bit of a stretch. So pull the other leg towards you, and you should feel a bit of a stretch in and around either the glutes at the back or towards the groin. And relax, and swap over, and stretch. Okay. Now come up into standing. If you have a spiky ball, pop it on the floor and pop your foot on top of it. And we're just going to roll the foot around the top of the ball, stimulating all the little balance receptors, the sole of the foot, as well as loosening off the structures, the joints, the fascia in the foot. If you don't have a ball to, either a tennis ball or a spiky ball to do that, bring your body weight onto one side of the pelvis, down that leg and onto the foot. And you're going to sweep around the borders of the foot. Just try and get it to relax out through the arch of the foot and your toes. And then bring the ball under your heel and stand up. And roll back, splay your toes out, heel on the ground. And if that's enough of a stretch, that's fine. Or if you can take a bit more, step forward with the other leg. And relax. Now we'll check our balance. So if you're using the ball, roll it out of the way. Choose a leg or choose a foot to stand on. Get your balance. Look over one shoulder. Back to the front. The other side. And back. Look over your shoulder. And back. And the other side. Once more over each side. Last one. Bring the other leg forward, so you're forward to 12 o'clock. Back out to 6. Out to 3 or 9, depending on which leg. And the other side. And back up. Keep your balance. Bring the leg out to the side. Bring your knee up, clasp your knee. Reach out and stop. And back up. And reach out. And back up. And again. Last one. Reach. Keep balancing and close your eyes. Right, okey-doke. So, feet hip distance apart. So feet together, heels together, toes out, and heels out. And think about your posture. Equal weight into each foot. Softly extended at your knees. And the position of your pelvis. Basically, if you imagine that's like a bucket of water, you want to make sure that it's balanced. So you're not pouring the water out the front, where you're arching your low back, and you're not pouring it out the back. You're slumping through the low back. So neutral spine, and essentially your seat bone should be pointing straight down towards the floor. Apart from that, make sure you're nice and wide across your collarbones. You want to aim to be the same width in front of your chest as what you are behind. And imagine you've got your helium balloon switched on. So you're going to draw up from the back of your neck. So keep in that position, breathe in. As you breathe out, squat down. Breathe in, raise your heels. Breathe out, stand up. And breathe in and back down. And squat down. Raise your heels, stand up, and back down. Think about your posture. Keep nice and tall. And relax. Now, widen your stance. I want you to imagine that you're standing by that wall. You're going to unstick yourself from the wall. So flex forward through your head, neck, shoulders, upper, middle, lower back. Let your tailbone raise up and reach for the mat. Now I want you to come up so you're nice and straight through your back. So you're kind of at 90 degrees from your hips. And then you're going to flex back down again, bit by bit by bit. And back up, so make sure you're nice and straight. And flex down. at 90 degrees from your hips, and then you go back down. And then you come back up, so you're straight through that low back and back down. This time I want you to keep that wide stance. When you're down with your hands in the mat, bend your knees and come down into that kind of Hindu squat to try and loosen up through the hips. Back up, raise, straighten the legs, up into a straight back, flex down, and down into your squat. And gradually back up. Well done. Now, standing on your mat, we're going to go into the reverse lunge. So again, think about the position of the pelvis, wide across the collarbones, balloon switched on, and we're going to step back and lunge back forward. And then the other side, step back and lunge back up. And last one. Now we're going to go into the side lunge. So step out to the side and lunge and back. Out to the side, lunge and back. Now, widen your stance. Squat down, arms out in front. Again, keep the width across the collarbones. So just because you've reached forward, don't collapse through your shoulders. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, sweep one arm up and overhead. Breathe in and back. And the other one up and overhead. Breathe in and back. So keep the pelvis pointing forward. Don't let it twist with the arm. But you keep looking at your hand. And relax. Now, squat down again. Breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, lunge to one side, reach that arm forward and the other overhead. Breathe in and back. Lunge to the other side, reach forward and overhead. Breathe in and back. And relax, and a few shoulder shrugs. Now, we'll stand at the edge of the mat and we're going to roll down. So breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, flex through your head and neck, gradually lower down through your spine. Let your tailbone raise up. Reach for the mat and pop onto your hands and knees. So we're going to do thread the needle with the spinal rotation. So push up between your shoulder blades. Don't let yourself sink down between your shoulders. Keep your head and neck in a straight line. Don't let your head drop down and don't look up. So breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, I want you to reach one arm in past the other and then slide back and reach up. Now we're going to go into our triangle. So pop one leg back and the other. Walk yourself back so you've got your feet on the ground, your pelvis is raised and your hands are on the ground. Bend one knee, so allow a bit of a calf stretch and swap over. Okay, and now we're going to lower ourselves into the plank position and then come back up out of it again. So calf, calf, and lower. Calf, calf, and lower. And relax out of it. Well done. And a few shoulder shrugs. Now, if you get your gym ball, we're going to start just again with the pelvic tilts. Always encourage as much movement through the pelvis as we can. So make sure you're sitting on both seat bones. Again, think of that pelvis as like a bucket of water. Draw yourself up with your helium balloon so the posture's good. Equal weight lightly into each foot. And we're going to pour the water out the back or out the front of the bucket and then pour the water out the back. So tilt forward and back, maintaining the weight down through the right seat bone. And then we're going to bring the weight onto the left seat bone. We're going to tilt forward and back. And relax. Well done. Okay, so you're well supported. The ball's supporting you between your shoulders, including your head and neck. And I want you to lower down through the pelvis and then gradually raise up. So you're going to let go through the pelvis and gradually raise up. So you're using your glutes to soften and allow the movement to go down. And then you're going to raise back up. And then if we stay up, so keep the pelvis elevated, bring your arms up to the ceiling. Again, nice and relaxed through your neck, staying wide across your collarbones. Allow one arm to float out to the side and draw back up. And the other one, float out to the side and back up. Bring one arm up above your head, one down by your side, back to the ceiling. And swap over and back. Allow the pelvis to lower down and draw back up. Arm out to the side and back up. The other side and back up. One above your head, one lower, and the reverse. And then lower the pelvis and back up. And then walk back in again and up onto the ball. Now we're going to lean over the ball this time. So if you kneel in front, roll forward. Not sure if I'm going to still be in the frame here. Now you can go as far forward as you have control over. So probably in and around your knees if you like. And all I want you to do is, again, think about that posture. So push up between those shoulder blades. Don't sink down between them. Keep your head and neck in a straight line. And I want you to allow yourself, your body to roll back. So your hands are further forward. And then draw the body back up. So allow the body to roll back and draw back up. Keep it. Now, onto your back. And just lying down onto the floor. Again, think about the position of the pelvis. So in this position, if you imagine this little arch in underneath your low back, you should have an imaginary grape sitting in under there. It should have enough room that it's not getting squashed, but equally it doesn't have enough room to roll around with, or roll around in there. So nice and neutral spine, feet hip distance apart, knees pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And we'll just do a few ordinary shoulder bridges to begin with. So breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, I want you to scoop the pelvis up off the mat, gradually raise up through your spine until you're resting on your shoulder blades. Breathe in and hold. And breathe out, gradually lower back down. So I don't want you to lift straight up and down. I want you to imagine the bones in your back are like pearls in a string. So you're going to go up one by one by one by one, and back down one by one by one. And back up one by one, and back down. Okay. So this time I want you to raise up through your spine till you're resting on your shoulder blades. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out. Stretch one leg away. and back. And breathe out the other side. Breathe in and back, and breathe out and melt down. So it doesn't matter if you're breathing in when you should be breathing out or anything like that. Just don't hold your breath. Now, if you're finding that easy enough, no problems, cross your arms over your chest. And relax. Now, I want you to bring one leg up into this position where your hip and your knee are at 90 degrees. Keep the pelvis as steady as you can. Keep the other knee really steady. Imagine there's a pen coming out of the front of your knee and you're going to draw a circle on the ceiling above. So circle out and away, breathe in and back. Okay, now I want you to straighten the leg out and you're going to draw a circle with your toe. Now turn onto your other side, or turn onto your side, sorry. You can do both sides, but bend your knees so your feet are in line with your hips. Check your posture. So check that pelvis again. You're not arching through the back or falling down towards the mat. Draw the top hip away. So you're trying to create a space between you and the mat underneath. And we're going to raise our feet as if they're resting on a small stool. Breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, raise the knee and lower down as you breathe in. Now this time raise up, reach the leg away, draw back and lower. Raise up, reach, draw back and lower. And relax and stretch. Now straighten your legs out. And we're going to do the upper leg raises. So breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, raise the upper leg. Breathe in, lower down. Again, just try and lead with the heel. And last one. And relax. Well done. Turn onto your tummy. Rest your forehead on the towel. Arms down by your side. And we're going to do the breaststroke. So breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, I want you to raise up through your head, neck, shoulders, and stretch and hover your arms. Extend those fingers down to your toes. Breathe in and back down. Raising up all of a piece. Keep the lower body nice and relaxed. So it's just an upper body movement. And again, just think about the width of the front of the chest so that you're not allowing those shoulders to fall down towards the mat with just under the influence of gravity. So raise up and back down. Stretch those fingers out and draw back. Two more. And last one. And relax. Now, come up onto your hands and knees. Push up between your shoulder blades. Breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, I want you to tuck your tailbone in underneath, raise up through your spine and drop your head and neck. And then lower through your spine. Raise your head. And then sit down on your heels and stretch your arms forward. back. Now, come up into sitting. So you can either sit cross-legged, or if that's uncomfortable, you can sit on your towel or your cushion, raise yourself up a little bit. Cross your arms over. Again, think about your posture, equal weight, or as much as you can, equal weight into those seat bones. Switch that balloon on, and we're going to twist around to one side, and back, and to the other side, and back. Now, breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, reach one arm up, breathe in and hold, breathe out, reach up to the ceiling, and stretch overhead, and back. And again, reach and stretch, and back. And back. Now, straighten one leg out as far as you can. Again, if you need to pop the cushion in underneath, raise yourself up. Because of tight hamstrings, that's fine. We're going to go into a little hamstring stretch. So what I want you to do is use your opposite hand, slide one hand down and reach over and stretch. And back up, sit tall. And draw back. Fine. Come up into standing. And relax your shoulders. Think about your posture, pelvis in the right position. Breathe in, sweep your arms up. Breathe out, reach to the back of your neck. Breathe in, raise your shoulders. And breathe out and lower. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and relax. That's it.